When most people think about wealth, they imagine luxury cars, mansions, designer clothes, and fancy vacations. The idea of success is often tied to the material possessions you have, the outward signs of success. But here's the truth. The journey to true wealth is about much more than showing off what you own. It's about living in a way that encourages growth and financial freedom, and that often means embracing modesty and simplicity. Now, before you roll your eyes or dismiss this, think about how different the world is today. Everywhere you look, people are showing off. On social media, people are posting pictures of their latest gadgets, expensive clothes, and luxurious lifestyles. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that this is what success looks like. But what if I told you that by looking poor and embracing a simpler, more humble lifestyle, you could actually be setting yourself up for greater financial success and happiness? Let's break down 5 reasons why looking poor can actually help you become wealthier. 1. Simplicity makes your life easier. The first reason why looking poor is important is that it simplifies your life. Think about it. When you keep your life simple, you free yourself from the stress of managing expensive, high-maintenance possessions. Imagine for a moment that someone gives you a brand new Lamborghini. At first, you're thrilled. You now have a high-end supercar, and you're excited about the respect and attention it brings. You post it all over social media, and suddenly, everyone thinks you're successful. But after a few months, the excitement wears off, and you start to notice all the hidden costs that come with owning such a luxury vehicle. For example, did you know that the cost to insure a Lamborghini can be 5 times higher than that of a regular car? On top of that, you need to use premium gas. And those tires? They're ridiculously expensive to replace. And every time you take the car for a service, it can cost anywhere between $1,500 and $2,000. Now, all of these costs exist even though you didn't even have to buy the car. Someone gave it to you. Yet, these expenses add pressure to your life and take away from the joy of having the car in the first place. 2. Looking poor helps you save and invest. Another reason why looking poor is important is that it helps you save money. When you're not constantly buying new gadgets or expensive clothes, you have more cash left over to invest in things that really matter, like your future. The problem is, too many people in today's society are living beyond their means. Every time a new product hits the market, they feel the pressure to buy it, even if they don't really need it. For example, how many people do you know who already have a perfectly functional iPhone but feel compelled to upgrade as soon as a new one is released? It's a common problem, but it's one that can have serious consequences if you're not careful. According to a recent survey, around 65% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. This means they're not saving or investing enough to secure their financial future, and instead, they're sinking further into debt by buying things they don't need. So, how do you avoid this pitfall? The solution is simple. Keep your lifestyle cheap and avoid unnecessary purchases. By doing this, you can start saving and investing. For example, if you saved $500 a month by avoiding expensive purchases, in 1 year, you'd have $6,000. You could use that money to invest in yourself, whether that's through education, courses, or workshops that will help you earn more in the future. Alternatively, you could invest that $6,000 into the stock market, specifically into an S&P 500 index fund. Over the next 25 years, that $6,000 could grow into over $500,000. It might seem like a small amount now, but over time, your savings and investments can compound into something much bigger, setting you up for financial freedom. 3. Attract the right people. One of the most important reasons for living modestly and looking poor is that it helps you attract the right people into your life. When you try to show off and flaunt your wealth, you might attract people who are only interested in you for your money, not who you truly are. I've seen this firsthand. A few years ago, I was living in Hong Kong, and I found myself hanging out with a group of expats. One guy, let's call him Tom, was really into living the high life. He insisted on buying a table at an expensive nightclub and going to a 5-star restaurant. He even expected everyone in the group to chip in for the cost, which amounted to over $500 just for one night out. At that time, I was between jobs and didn't have that kind of money to spare, so I politely declined and went home instead. But as I reflected on the situation, I realized something important. Tom wasn't looking for real friends. He was looking for people who would validate his need to show off his wealth. People like him expect others to keep up with their lavish lifestyle. And in doing so, they create a social circle based on superficial values. But what's the point of being around people who only want to be your friend because of your possessions? By living a modest life, you can attract people who value you for who you are, not for what you have. These are the people who want to be around you for your personality, your mindset, and your energy. They're not interested in using you for your wealth, but they'll genuinely appreciate you for the right reasons. It's not about having the fanciest car or the biggest house. It's about having meaningful relationships that are built on mutual respect and genuine connection. Avoid becoming a target for crime. Here's a bonus reason why looking poor is important. It reduces the likelihood of becoming a target for crime. If you constantly flaunt your wealth on social media or in public, you're essentially telling the world that you have something valuable to steal. This can make you a target for thieves or criminals who want to take advantage of you. 4. Learn to appreciate what you have. Living a modest lifestyle also helps you appreciate the things you already have. When you're not constantly looking for the next big purchase, you start to become more grateful for the essentials in your life. Simple things like clean drinking water, a roof over your head, and good health become much more valuable when you're not distracted by material desires. Many people get caught up in the hedonic treadmill, the cycle of constantly seeking more things in order to feel happy. Research shows that people who win the lottery often report that their happiness levels return to normal after just a few months. They don't stay happier forever. They simply get used to their new lifestyle, and their happiness returns to its baseline. This phenomenon is true for anything you buy. Whether it's a new car, a Gucci belt, or the latest tech gadget, that initial burst of excitement wears off, and you're left feeling the same as you did before. But when you live simply and appreciate what you have, you avoid this trap. You learn to find joy in the smaller things, spending time with loved ones, working on meaningful projects, and living a life that's rich in experiences, not just material goods. And when you stop chasing after the next shiny object, you become more content with the life you've already built. For your own benefits, make sure to watch this video on your screen and subscribe for more.